You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, pet lovers. Okay, this show is especially for anyone with fur babies in the home, because most of your fur babies have, well, fur, right? And you know what that means? Stay tuned. You will not want to miss this product. It's one of the best. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
At Red Barn, our pet food ingredients work overtime. They aren't just there for show. Dandelion greens work to maintain a healthy digestive system. Salmon oil works to enhance the immune system. Green-lipped mussels work to support joint health. These hard-working ingredients support your dog's active, healthy life. Look at the label. We want you to. Red Barn Naturals Pet Food. Simply the best. Find it in your local pet specialty store. Try our grain-free stews. The only pet food with Red Barn bully sticks.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to introduce Robert Green. He is the head reliability engineer for Dyson. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited because I love Dyson vacuum cleaners. I've had fur babies, always. They have fur. It means a mess. And I think Dyson does a great job. Now, I tried out at the studio and at home one of your newest models, the Dyson V6 Absolute. So tell us about this one.
So the V6 Absolute is our latest cordless technology. So all the convenience of, or all the function of a normal vacuum cleaner with the convenience of it being battery powered, effectively cordless, making it much more versatile, much easier to use, and without the sort of hassle of having to wheel the machine out, unravel a cord, move from room to room, unplugging it. You can sort of just take it off the dock, use it wherever you need to use it, making it much, much more convenient.
I think everybody listening knows the name Dyson and knows that it's kind of synonymous with great products because I know that you make more than vacuums. I've tried other Dysons and they've always worked wonderfully. I thought the V6 Absolute was really cool because, as you mentioned, it's cordless. You charge it with a battery. I was having a blast cleaning. They left me around the studio. I was just cleaning away, because it's easy. You can dust with it. You can do stairs with it, and it's so lightweight. You can do curtains. I mean, it's unlimited what you can vacuum and dust with it. It's fantastic. How did it come about, the idea for the Dyson V6 Absolute?
So we've been working for a number of years now on cordless vacuum cleaners, battery-powered vacuum cleaners, because we really do believe that the convenience is there for a battery-powered product over a conventional vacuum cleaner. And if you think back sort of a decade ago, battery-powered vacuum cleaners were the sort of relatively cheap, plasticky handheld units that sort of died after 30 seconds of running. And didn't really pick up much dust or dirt, and were fine maybe the first time you used them, and then just sort of gradually died off and became less and less useful. Now, we always thought there's no reason that should be the case, and particularly as technology's got better in batteries, both laptops and mobile phones and all sorts of different devices. We sort of looked at that and went, well, why can't we apply the same cutting-edge technologies you'll find in your cell phone and your laptop to these sort of battery-powered vacuum cleaners to actually make them a strong, usable product that actually does the job of a vacuum cleaner. Now, as we've developed over the years, and it's probably a good 10 years worth of product life and development for us to get to the point of the V6 Absolute. They've got a little bit longer in run time with each iteration and a little bit stronger in terms of the suction power. And what we've got with the V6 Absolute really is one of the first battery-powered machines that will actually do the job as well as a conventional corded vacuum cleaner. So, whereas traditionally battery-powered machines, like I said, because of the battery technology, didn't really have quite the same suction or quite the same cleaning performance. With this one, the V6 range, particularly the V6 Absolute, we've got a machine that is powerful enough to get all the pet hair and all the ingrained dust and dirt out of your carpet, as well as, a conventional corded machine. A lot of that, like I said, has come from improvements in battery technology, but also big technological advancements in terms of the design of the cleaner head and also the motor that actually powers the machine.
Having you said all that, I think it works great. I know there was a lot of technology and design behind it, but I think it's just a fabulous idea. And, just because a vacuum is smaller or you have smaller areas to clean doesn't mean you don't want good suction. And I just think it's amazing how well it works. I'm a big fan of, I think you call them bagless, right?
Yep.
Right? Because you see all the gunk going in the canister and all the hair. And we have at the studio generally 4 to 5, 6, 8 fur babies at a time. So that's a lot of hair. And at home I have 3. So that's a lot of hair, especially the cat. He's a shed monster. And what I also love, besides all of that, is that I know it picks up allergens, and maybe you can go into a little more into that. But I just love seeing how everything goes into the canister. You empty it, you just flick a little button or a switch, and it just opens up. You get the stuff out. It's so easy because the ones that had small vacuums with bags, changing it was a nightmare. And then you had the rubber pieces that went with it. Absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and the whole point of sort of seeing inside the bin is one of the big customer feedback things we get is people really do enjoy seeing what they've picked up. There's a lot of user satisfaction that comes with that, knowing that you've achieved something. As you've cleaned over a spot, it has actually picked up debris that you might not, or dust and debris that you might not have been able to see. And when we first launched, something we've always done at Dyson is make sure that bin is clear. But when we first launched, it was a bit of an unknown, and we had a few sort of retailers sort of saying, well, we don't think people will like seeing it. But it is one of the big satisfaction points, if you will, with bagless machines, and particularly us as we sort of pioneered it. There's this wonderful feedback of knowing that what you've done has achieved something and seeing the results of your cleaning. So we get a lot of good comments, a lot of good positive comments from people saying how much, like you, they enjoy being able to see that. The other thing you mentioned is the allergies bit, or allergens bit. Obviously, that's the bit you can't see. But one of the nice things with the V6 Absolute, this is our first machine to have HEPA level filtration. And so we've got sort of 2 filters working with the cyclones of the machine to make sure we're capturing all the microscopic dust particles and all the allergens and pollens and all the things that can sort of trigger people's reactions, or the ultra-fine dust and dirt that you might not be able to see, but you certainly don't want left in the room. And this is the first of our sort of cordless machines to sort of achieve that level of filtration, making sure we're sort of removing that from the airflow and from the room.
And like you said, 'cause the satisfaction of using it, I think it's, as you were explaining, I was thinking, I guess it's immediate gratification that you immediately see all the dirt that you're picking up that makes you even more in love with your Dyson, because you see all the mess. And what causes that, as far as all the allergens and all of that being able to pick up? Is it the suction power?
It's sort of a combination of very good suction and very good agitation. So you need a lot of suction, but one of the key things that's quite often overlooked is the agitation of the surface. So a lot of people see sort of rotating brush bars, and they assume quite rightly that they're there for picking up hair and fibers. But what they also do is help open up the carpet pile, vibrate the carpet surface, bring any ground-in dust or dirt up to the top to be carried away by the suction. If you just had suction alone, it would do a very good job at cleaning the very top layer. You wouldn't really get any of the ingrained dust or dirt or debris out. So you need, like I said, a good combination of good suction, but also very good agitation coming from, a well-designed cleaner head.
Robert, one of the things when I talk about how, I really like Dyson, I think my vacuum cleaner is amazing, and I really, really love the Dyson V6 Absolute. I think it's fantastic. Some people think Dyson are a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones out there, but I think the value for the product is unbelievable. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and it's a premium priced product. To remember that buy the product, we'll stick with you and we'll say that you have a problem. All you have to do is phone our US-based call center, and we'll quite happily, either send you the replacement part or bring the machine in at no cost to sort out those sort of problems. So, we're standing by our machines and backing them for 2 to 5 years, depending on the model. The other thing is all of our machines are cutting-edge technology. And with that comes a huge investment in recent existing products. Each one of our machines is in a slightly different shape. Research, design, and development. It needs to be recouped through the cost of the product. What I will say, though, is we always try to offer a range of machines. So the Dyson V6 Absolute is our top of the range in terms of the cordless machines. And at the moment, it's about $600. At the bottom end, though, we offer a very similar machine. It basically has a slightly different design cleaner head based on an older model that comes in at around the $250 mark. Now, obviously, to some people, that's still going to be a lot of money, but hopefully you can see that there's a range out there of price points for various different people. And in between that, there's various different models between that, $250 and $600 price point. That's just for our cordless machines. When we come to the cord and other models, again, there's a range of prices out there. So the important thing, I think, for us and, for people to remember is you're buying the machine, we're going to stand by it, we're going to stick with it with our 2 or 5 year warranty, depending on the model. And yes, something like the V6 Absolute is our most expensive, but always look at the range that we offer, because there are cheaper models and there are a variety of models available, which might do what you need at a lower price.
I have a Dyson that I owned prior to even being on the radio. I think it's 12 years old, and I've had to replace a hose, which they break, and that I replaced after having it 10 years. If I figure out the cost, what I spent, and how many times I've used it, I don't even think it's a quarter per use. So having something good quality that works well, continues to work well, and having it over a long period of time, I think you get what you pay for, not with everything, but with Dysons, absolutely, you get what you pay for, because I would buy another one in a second. I think they last a long time. The suction remains. They're very easy to maintain. You basically just wash the filter every, I think, month, although, okay, I shouldn't say this with you, but sometimes I go longer than that, and it's better to do it, on a regular basis as it should be for better maintenance of the machine. But I've never found a better vacuum that I've used. I just think they're incredible. What can we expect from Dyson in the future? Is there anything exciting coming out in 2016?
There's always exciting things coming out, but nothing that I can talk about, unfortunately. We like to keep our secrets very secret, but we're constantly working on new machines and new They're happy just to sit on back on our laurels or rest on our laurels. We're constantly striving to improve, like I said, our machines and our technology. So plenty of exciting stuff coming, but nothing that I can talk about at the moment.
Okay, well, be patient and wait. I have a question, though, on the V6. Is there a Dyson tool for cleaning really small places, like maybe computer keyboards, or is there an attachment for that?
Yeah, we do a large range of different attachments. We have various different sort of bristled tools, which are the sort of things that are best for keyboards. Something like the V6 Absolute is a great one because it's very versatile. So you can remove bullets, the brightly coloured aluminium tube. You can attach the tools directly to the main body of the unit, sort of making it more like a handheld vacuum cleaner. Now, in the box, it will be supplied with a small bristle tool, which is great for, like I said, sort of cleaning computer keyboards. If you put that straight onto the unit, that'll do a fantastic job. But we also do a lot of other sort of delicate surface cleaning ones, and some which use very fine carbon fiber filaments. Others, like I said, based around different sort of bristle technology or different sort of materials, depending on the application. So there's lots of sort of various different accessories out there for making different cleaning tasks even easier.
And I've always been a proponent. I've lived in different places, some wood floors, some carpet, some tile. In my opinion, I personally think vacuuming is a little better than just wiping up when there's dust around. So I've used Dyson, when I had all wood floors, when I had no carpeting at all, because the versatility in the product and the suction, very good. Not all vacuum cleaners can you use as, instead of dusting. What have you found in people using the Dyson? I mean, is that something that has happened a lot? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so obviously when you think about vacuum cleaners, most people's initial thoughts are that they're used for cleaning carpets. And we've always tried to design our machines to work across a variety of floor types, particularly the obvious carpet ones, but also various different hard floors, whether they're wood or tile or slate or whatever it may be. With the two different cleaner heads, sort of an all-round cleaner head that's more targeted towards carpet, but will do a very good job on hard surfaces. The second one, which we call the soft roller cleaner head, is specifically designed for hard floors. Again, whether that's wood, tile, slate, whatever it may be. And it's a very soft, sort of a cushioned roller. Looks a little bit like a paint roller, in all honesty. And it's made up of a combination of very soft nylon fibers and then a couple of strips of carbon fiber. And the idea with this one is that it's much more gentle on delicate surfaces, particularly highly polished floors, and it's very good at getting that very thin layer of dust and dirt that tends to stick or cling to polished surfaces, and that's achieved by using carbon fiber. Now, it's funny, when you talk about carbon fiber these days, most people think of the very hard stuff that you'd find in sort of race cars or power boats or various different applications these days. But actually, most of us, the first time we saw carbon fiber was the old CD lens cleaning discs or vinyl record cleaners, which was very, very soft, very fine filaments that are very gentle on the surfaces and very good at removing dust. That's the sort of carbon fiber we're using on this tool. Something very, very filament size, very, very delicate, very gentle on the surface it's used on. And the great thing is that carbon fiber has this sort of anti-static property that helps remove the static from the surface and wipe up that very, very fine layer of dust that otherwise would be quite difficult to remove.
How did you make the V6 Absolute so light? I've never had a vacuum cleaner where I could just lift it up and just get drapes and any, dust that's higher up. It's really, really light. It's very easy to use.
Yes, so weight was a very important consideration for the design, and the heaviest component for most vacuum cleaners is the main motor. So the electric motor that's connected to the fan that, once it rotates, creates the suction and draws the air through the machine. At Dyson, about 15 years ago now, we started designing our own motors, which we design and build ourselves. The great thing with these motors is they're very high-tech, very cutting-edge, and it allows us to make much smaller, much lighter, much more powerful vacuum motors specifically designed for our vacuum cleaners. And part of that, like I said, was making them much smaller and much lighter. That, combined with their increased bit, allows us to optimize the runtime by using sort of existing batteries. But really the key to it is, our own Dyson digital motors, designing and making our own motors. It allows us to make them smaller and much lighter, making the overall product, again, much smaller and lighter.
It's very light, very easy to use. I think it's a great vacuum cleaner, great all-around cleaner. Now, for everybody that's listening, and we have listeners from all over the globe, where can they find the Dyson V6 Absolute?
So it's available all over the world. Pretty much all the countries and territories we sell in have this machine available. It's one of our biggest global successes. Dyson.com can give you directions to either your nearest retailers, whether that may be in the globe, the international website that may be most appropriate to your country, as well as being able to supply it direct from Dyson if you prefer, instead of going to a retailer.
How did you make the V6 Absolute so light? I've never had a vacuum cleaner where I could just lift it up and just get drapes and any, dust that's higher up. It's really, really light. It's very easy to use.
Yes, so weight was a very important consideration for the design, and the heaviest component for most vacuum cleaners is the main motor. So the electric motor that's connected to the fan that, once it rotates, creates the suction and draws the air through the machine. At Dyson, about 15 years ago now, we started designing our own motors, which we design and build ourselves. The great thing with these motors is they're very high-tech, very cutting-edge, and it allows us to make much smaller, much lighter, much more powerful vacuum motors specifically designed for our vacuum cleaners. And part of that, like I said, was making them much smaller and much lighter. That, combined with their increased bit, allows us to optimize the runtime by using sort of existing batteries. But really the key to it is, our own Dyson digital motors, designing and making our own motors. It allows us to make them smaller and much lighter, making the overall product, again, much smaller and lighter.
It's very light, very easy to use. Well, Robert, thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling us all about the Dyson V6 Absolute, the wonders of your newest Dyson. It's a fabulous vacuum cleaner. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, that was such a great show. I am so glad Robert came on. The Dyson V6 Absolute is so easy to work, and so it's kind of fun. It makes vacuuming fun. And when is vacuuming fun, right? And I'd like to thank the entire test crew, Nikki, Mr. Z, and the Dennis, for helping shed their fur so I could vacuum it up with the Dyson V6 Absolute. Actually, Mr. Z, who's a long-haired mutt, and the Dennis, who's a mixed Maine Coon and some other stuffed cat, they contributed the most because they shed a lot. So thank you guys for shedding so much so I could vacuum it up with the Dyson V6 Absolute. I had fun with that. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound great. You can find out more on this episode for Dyson V6 Absolute. There'll be a link to the site as well as a picture of the product and a little blurb about the product. Stay tuned. We'll be back with another great show on Best Bets for Pets.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, also known as the Pet Lady. I travel from coast to coast to pet trade shows and consumer events to scout out what the hottest, hippest, and most unique pet products are on the planet, bringing you tips and tricks from top veterinarians, groomers, trainers on how to safely travel and live happily with your pets. The Pet Lady will be in a city near you, showing off the latest and greatest tech, pet gadgets, cozy comforts, and fab gift ideas for man's and woman's best friend. You can learn more at thepetlady.net or connect socially and tweet with me at PetLadyWorld.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. It is the time of year I like the best. It is autumn, and we have all kinds of exciting things going on, and there is something in the air right now. What is it? Pumpkin, the scent of pumpkin and spices. I have a great show. This is a really cool product for your fur babies. I'd like to introduce Chris Meiering. He is the Director of Innovation at Zuke. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So everybody that's listening out there is thinking, okay, what is she talking about in the air, whatever? Well, first of all, let's tell everybody, what is Zuke?
So Zuke is a all-natural treat company founded here in Durango, Colorado, where I'm sitting looking at the new snow on our mountains behind us at the office. Fall is definitely in the air here, and we were founded in 1995 and have been making all-natural, healthy, nutritious pet treats since then.
Well, we're at different ends of the country because I'm sitting here and there's palm trees outside. So we don't have any snow, of course, in South Florida, but where we are based. But there's still a lot of pumpkin, which is what we're going to talk about, which is one of your new products. But first, what makes, I know that you said Zuke's all natural treats. Where does the name come from?
The name Zuke actually comes from a dog named Zuke. My brother, Patrick Meiering, was hiking outside of Durango, Colorado with his dog Zuke, and Zuke became really exhausted after reaching the summit of a little local mountain. And in 1995, this happened, and Patrick looked down at Zuke and realized that Patrick had an energy bar, he had an energy drink, but Zuke did not have the same healthy nutrition as a dog that Patrick did as a human being, and that sparked the idea to create our first product, which is an energy bar for dogs.
I had a feeling there was a fur baby involved with the name. So I like the name. I think it's really cool. So it's named Zuke's in honor of Zuke, which sparked the idea. So Zuke's has a line of energy products. What other kind of products do you have?
So we have that original Power Bone product, energy bar for dogs. We have a wonderful line of training treats called Mini Naturals, and we also work in the functional area. We have a hip and joint treat that's loaded with glucosamine and chondroitin for the dogs when they get a little bit older. When Zuke got a little bit older, we decided he needed some help with his hip and joints, so we created a hip and joint treat with glucosamine and chondroitin. We also just came out with a line of products from New Zealand, a turkey line that has GMO-free, grass-fed New Zealand beef at its source. And then a whole host of other treats for dogs.
Well, what I like about Zuke's is it passes besides that it's all natural, it's healthy for my fur kids, and I don't have to worry about anything being produced and not being correct, because there's been stuff in the industry that's been out there in production with dog treats that hasn't been good for your pets. So I have no worries. The other thing is, of course, is treats are only as good as how much your fur kid likes them. And Mr. Z, one of my testers, is very picky, like really, really picky for a big 50-pound dog. And I've never had a problem with Zuke's treats. And the new treat that we just tried, the pumpkin treats, he just gobbled them up. And he tends to like, fruits and vegetables and those sort of things. But even with certain treats that are fruits and vegetables, he gets a little, kind of sniffs and goes away. He doesn't care. If he doesn't like it, forget it. But he loved these. So what's so tasty and unique about these pumpkin treats?
So the new pumpkin patch treats from Zuke's, they were inspired by that Mini Naturals training treat line that we've had since 2003. And we know that dogs love pumpkin, they love turkey, and pumpkin's just a wonderful, nutritious, wholesome ingredient, lots of fiber, lots of beta-carotene, lots of vitamins and minerals. And so we decided to put that into a pumpkin-shaped treat for the fall. We love the idea of creating kind of whimsical seasonal products that reflect what you're feeling, that fall atmosphere, that smell of pumpkin and spice. So we decided to pack pumpkin and turkey into a healthy, nutritious treat that I'm glad to hear Z loves it.
Well, we took the pumpkin patch treats and decided to test them beyond our crew. Some products were able to, some products were not, but we decided to test them. I've tried Zuke's before, I had no worries, and so we tested them among probably some other show hosts were in the studio, maybe about 12 other dogs, and not one sniffed and walked away. They gobbled them up.
That's great to hear. We do the same in our testing philosophy. Is we wouldn't feed your dog anything that we wouldn't feed our own. So when we were making this product, I remember bringing the test batches into the office, and at some days we have up to 20 dogs in the office. So it's a great place to work. It's a little chaotic, but you remember the dogs coming up to the front desk when we opened up the pumpkin patch treats, and they were all lining up to be testers. And we do have some finicky ones in the office as well, so it's a good way to test new products.
Yeah, those finicky ones, at first you're like, it can be exasperated. Why won't you eat this? What's wrong with this? But they kind of teach us. And, and I think they also tend to know what's best for them, because Mr. Z's pretty healthy. He likes the healthier treats and the ones that are good for him. And he has a good nose. So they went over really well. Now, besides the pumpkin patch treats for fall, do you have anything exciting coming out for Christmas? Holiday time?
The pumpkin patch is what we're bringing out for this whole fall season, and in the coming 2016, we're looking at creating some treats for different seasons, made in the USA. Zuke's is all made in the USA. We're looking at creating a special treat for the 4th of July summer season, and then continuing into new treats in the holiday season again in 2016.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. Now, you probably have good experience in this, because I get asked this question frequently. And since, you're a manufacturer of a lot of different products, one of them treats, what is a good rule of thumb to use when giving your dog treats?
Well, I mean, you can look at that from a number of different angles. One angle is you turn that ingredient package over, look at the back, and read that ingredient deck, and we feel you should be able to pronounce every ingredient in there and understand why it would be in a product. So if you turn over a Zuke's package, protein, chicken, turkey, beef is always the number one ingredient, and then you read down the list and it reads like something that you would want to eat yourself. So if you turn over that pumpkin patch product, it sounds like a turkey dinner in there.
So no wonder that the dogs like them so much. And what would you say the rule of thumb is as far as how often you should give your fur kids treats?
Well, it depends on the pet size. So we make different size treats for different size dogs. That mini natural that inspired the pumpkin patch, it is a 3-calorie treat that you can train bigger dogs with it, or you can treat smaller dogs with it. And then we make a lot of our treats are all usually in the 10 to 20 calorie range. So we like dogs to be healthy just like we like ourselves to be healthy. So we just recommend use treats as needed, use them for rewards, use them to treat your dogs for being the great dog they are, but definitely don't overfeed because we know there's a lot of pet and canine obesity out there, and we encourage people to definitely feed responsibly and feed appropriately.
Very good rule of thumb to use and very good advice. Thanks. Yeah, here at the studio on the test crew, we don't have a problem with canine obesity, but feline obesity. So, but you don't make treats for cats yet, do you?
We do have a couple of cat treats. We have a product called Natural Purrs, which is a under 3-calorie, very small, healthy, nutritious treats for cats. And we also have a glucosamine treat for our older kitties that are having hip and joint problems as well, because a lot of people don't realize that cats suffer from the same hip and joint issues that dogs do.
And do you know, and this is, I know, a question that, most people, everyone should ask their vet. So just on your opinion of this, the dentist he's a little chubby. He's on a special diet for crystals in his urine, but he does drink water and he has crunchy food as well as wet food daily. Now, would he be able to have your treats on occasion? Or I know I should ask my vet for sure, but just your personal opinion on this. So everyone ask your vet, check. Don't just listen and think, you should take your dog or cat off a special diet and give them whatever. But just in your personal opinion, what would your opinion be on this?
We agree that anytime you have a health issue, you should definitely check with your vet, and if your cat especially is on a special diet for crystals, definitely get that recommendation. But one thing we know from pet and the human realm is that cranberry is a good source of nutrition for cats that have urinary issues. So we supplement both of our cat treats with whole cranberries. So if you're going to use a treat and your vet recommends it, we recommend looking for one with cranberry in it, and both of our products have that as well.
Oh, that's great information and really useful and really interesting. So you gave us some ideas and some hints on what's new and upcoming out there. Now, since we're coming up on the holiday season, does Zuke have any great holiday items that we can get for our fur kids?
Holiday is a great time to treat your own pets, but also a great time to buy items for your friends and family that have dogs and cats. And we recommend any Zuke's treat's going to be a fantastic stocking stuffer for any dog or cat out there. So you can be assured that Zuke's sourced in the United States, made in the USA. You're getting the highest quality treats, and you can feel confident giving that treat to your own pet or to friends and family as well.
Oh, wonderful information. Is there anything I didn't ask that you wanted to talk about?
Just look for a lot of exciting news from Zuke's coming up in the year 2016. We have a lot on the docket, and we really look forward to being back on the show to talk about a lot of the great new innovation that Zuke's is going to be bringing to the pet marketplace and pets all across the country in 2016.
Well, that sounds wonderful. We look forward to hearing about all this exciting information and new treats and great new products from Zuke's. Thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to thank Chris at Zuke's for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling us all about the fabulous products at Zuke's. And I'd like to thank my listeners for making Best Bets for Pets one of the top shows on Pet Life Radio. Thank you so much. You can hear us on live stream at iHeartRadio, which is always just great information. We have our top shows on iHeartRadio, and it's just a great way to listen to Pet Life Radio during the day. I'd like to thank my producer, Mark Winter, for making me sound better than I really do. And I'd like to thank the test crew. In this case, it was Mr. Z and Nikki, who gladly gobbled up the treats from Zuke's and all the other fur kids out there that tested the Zuke's products. It was a big hit around the studio. Keep listening. There's a lot of great shows coming up on Best Bets for Pets on Pet Life Radio.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.